I've made a ton of excuses as to why I haven't been the best version of myself. I have I've have a plethora of excuses that I've made up for myself that haven't equated any success to up to the standards that I've wanted. And the standards that I've wanted have been here, but my effort has been close to nothing. And I used to think I could get away with it because I was younger and I was good looking and I could be with a girl and I could just have an average job and then move my way up just by my looks. And for any of you that have thought that in your life, that if I work out, if I look good, that's going to be enough to get me a partner and be able to live the life that I want to, maybe that could have worked a long time ago because things were a lot cheaper. But in today's day and age where there's a gap disparity between rich and poor, and it's growing at a rapid pace, that you need to develop skills. And when I've heard that word skills, I've always heard them as some kind of magical thing that you go learn in school. And that's not the skills you have to develop are things that aren't required to be learned in school. And to some extent, because you still need to develop skills in school as far as learning capability, being able to sit down and learn something and make time blocks to learn that stuff and repeat the motion and get better at it. That's a skill. Those are type of skills that I'm referring to a little bit where it's more of a grit skill. Let's say you have a 9 to 5 and you have to want to start a business, or in this case you want to go to school and you're going to have to do long hours because you can't afford to not only have a job to be able to pay for the things that you want, your car, going out with your friends, but you also have to have the responsibilities of learning a new thing. So you have to make time to learn that thing. And that becomes a part of you as you get older too, when you want to be able to grow a business or you want to be able to expand from your average 9 to 5 job because you think that the average 9 to 5 job isn't going to be able to do the things that you want to pay for the things that you want to, like vacations, homes, right? Homes are so expensive now. And the times that I've stopped learning, the times that I've stopped trying are the times that I've felt really bad about myself. I'm the happiest knowing that I'm developing skills along the way of what I'm pursuing. Now there are times where let's say I'm a salesman, which I am. I sell homes, but I do door to door sales. I go door to door and I knock on the doors, right? There's times where I don't want to go knock on doors. And the times that I've convinced myself for whatever reason, I'm too tired, I've already worked my 9 to 5, I have enough money in the bank, where I sit at home and I Netflix and chill, or I just take a nap, or I get distracted. The times that I've done that personally up to this stage of my life is the times that I felt the ugliest about myself. And I think because the person inside of me says he wants more and he knows he's capable of much more and he knows he deserves more, but the physicality for the person that's out here doesn't apply it. And so my brain and my body are doing two different things. And some might call it your spirit, and some might call it your soul. Uh, Debating whether the fight of good and evil, right? Evil being the laziness, the resistance, the letting you that everything is fine, while the good is telling you go out and live your life, go out and do the extra, go out and get exhausted, go out and make the videos that you have no idea who this is going to outreach, and you have no idea if this is actually making sense to people, but you want to learn how to express yourself. So maybe along the way, someone else can learn a little bit from you and just be better. And just be better. All of us just gradually grab each other's chain. And if someone needs help, pick them up. Because, man, I'm telling you, as you get older, it just gets harder. And not because they say because you have all these responsibilities and you have a family, which I do. I have a daughter, and you have all these things that you have to take care of. No, it gets older because you're stuck in your ways of your brain. So you're fighting to still be optimistic in this world that's creating this environment in your brain that's very hardened. So if you already have this pessimistic attitude, good luck as you get older, because it's just going to further support that. And it's going to be harder for you to be optimistic as you get older, because you might have diabetes, you might have the cancer, which I hate that word, it's just very dangerous. And you might have an illness that is prohibiting you from living your best version, and because of that, you're just multiplying this version of yourself that hasn't lived up to par. It just makes it uglier inside, like internally and outside, if you're hurt physically. My point is, I'm happiest when I'm pursuing something. I'm happiest even up to this stage of my life when I know I'm trying to better myself, but I don't distract myself. Because there's a difference between, I can pick up a book, right, and not do my sales and say, well, I did read today, so I don't feel as dumb, or I feel like I succeeded. And that's not, because what I'm doing is, instead of pursuing, this is me, I'm talking to me, instead of pursuing the goal that I want, you know what I do? I grab a book instead, because I don't want to send an email. I don't want to sit and call a client. I don't want to go door knocking, door sales, and talk to clients. So I'm like, okay, maybe this drug will fulfill that side of me that doesn't quiet down, and it doesn't, because I know the truth. I can't escape myself. I can't escape my brain. I can't fool myself. It's like lying to yourself. It's like ignoring yourself and telling yourself these other things. Meanwhile, the real version of you is looking inside of you and going, really? This is what we're doing? So it just hurts. Like, it's almost like he turns around on the other side and sits against the wall inside your head. This sounds like a stupid metaphor, or maybe an illustration of what I'm trying to say, but it's like a disappointment of yourself. And when you do that continually, it just keeps piling on, and then you stop building that motivation, and you start feeling ugly about yourself. And for me personally, I start asking friends, what are they doing today, so I can go to a bar and have a drink. I don't drink, but I'll have a burger, or I'll have something just to distract myself, and I'll sit and talk shit. I was sorry for cursing. Talk smack about a certain player, a basketball player, and I'll talk about sports, and it's the same conversations instead of doing the work. And man, I suck at this life stuff, man. I've really messed up a lot of the things that I've wanted out of life, because I've never pushed myself beyond my limits. I can push myself training, working out like no other, and I could use that as a what do they call that? I'm sorry to be coming off this way. I could use the working out as a tool to help say to myself, like, look, you've done it in physicality, and you're able to push yourself and go run 5 miles today, but you're not able to send an email. You're not able to go door knock and talk to a person. Like, what's that about? Like, most people find that easier than it is for training for 2 hours. And I'm battling myself in my brain. And I want to be able to be that man, but it takes a lot of consistency. And I know once I get there, I want to look back and go, I'm glad I stuck with it. And I hope you too. I hope whatever it is that you guys are doing, I hope you pursue it with all your heart, with all your effort, and you don't allow yourself to get in the way of yourself. If that doesn't make any sense to you, then this message isn't for you. But you got to get out of your own way. And I hope this reaches out to you. You guys have a good night.